Hello and welcome. This is Sasha Sabbath of EntrepreneurSoulCoach.com, and we are in day 16 of the Radical Soul Expansion and Success 30-Day Tip Series. And we are with the hashtag Thrive, Make Money, Lead. So basically what this tip series is about, if you're brand new, is we are working on self-empowerment tools using your intuition, using energy healing, transmuting, and transmitting abilities for the bottom line result of you being able to take charge of a situation, to have confidence, clarity, and tools with which to make any situation somewhat better, given the challenges of what is going on right now with the coronavirus. We have two real worlds, if we were to put it simplistically, playing out. We have the world of fear and suffering, great suffering and anger and confusion and worry. And then we have, which what I would call the shadow, the dark forces. And then we have the other side. We have those who are coming forward as light leaders, who are bringing forth what I have called humanity codes, meaning we are activating the true nature of what it is to be a humanity rising, a humanity-based, humanity expanding society. And so these tips, I decided I wanted to do something to help where people wouldn't feel so lost. They wouldn't feel so, what shall I say, tossed around by the havoc and the emotions without having some way of coming back to center. And so when you look at the tip series, they are located, if you are part of my private Facebook group, which is the Light Leader Power and Success Mission Impact Group, or you could go to the playlist on my YouTube channel, which has the same name of the tips. And that again is Radical Soul Expansion and Success 30-Day Tip Series. All of the previous tips are there. So here we are on day 16 for tip 16, and all of the others dating back to day 1 are located either in my private Facebook group or in my YouTube channel. Now, day 1 was the overview. It went into far greater detail as to the purpose, the mission, the intention, the vision for this tip series. And each of the tips have been for you to learn how to program more of what you want and feel less of being at the effect, feel less reactive and more responsive. And all of that is described in the earlier tips. So you learned how to clear a room. You learned how to ground yourself. You learned how to disconnect from the toxic collective consciousness. You learned how to create an inner state of feeling exactly the way you want to feel, even when your physical reality isn't that at all. You've also learned how to create your ideal day. And that's what we did on day 13. Now on day 14 and 15, I gave us all a break so that the energies could settle, so that you could start sensing which tips really are more appropriate for you at this time in your journey. It were 2 days, day 14 and 15, for you to just settle down, practice the other tips, look at the things that are really compelling in your life right now, and decide which tips you want to focus on. Maybe on a day-to-day basis, maybe there's a particular issue or a challenge or a condition that you're dealing with that you want to apply specific tips to. So the purpose of us having days off for day 14 and 15, where there were no new tips, was for you to just take stock of what you know and what you are starting to use that you naturally gravitate towards. Okay, now, day 13, as I said, was learning how to program your subconscious mind, how to create and activate the cellular memory, as well as to install new energetics into your energy field, that will bring about the people, places, and circumstances for you to create your ideal day. Now, today, we're going to kick it up a notch. We're going to go one step further, and that is creating your ideal week. Now, I taught a class about that, and what I'm going to do is play you the segment of that class so that you're able to follow along. There's principles at the very beginning, and then there's going to be a closed-eye exercise. Basically, what we're doing here is we are revisiting what is important to you and how you would go about creating the inner environment, the inner space for you to create your ideal soul-aligned week. So I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. All you need to do, I'm going to sit right here and follow along with you. You might want to get some paper and pen because you'll be asked to do some inventory taking. And basically what you want to do is think about how your life is unfolding right now, the things that you know you must get done, the things that you know have to be your next steps, and how to handle when your energy is stuck, when you're procrastinating, when you really want to do certain things, but you just can't motivate yourself. When you go back over the tip series, there's a wonderful tip on getting unstuck and into action. And it gives you mindsets as well as energy flow techniques that you actually use with your hands to direct divine energy into your chakras, and also how to create energy flow so that you are much more grounded in your physical body. So I'm going to give you a second to get some paper and pen. I'm going to get the recording going, and we're going to get started. Okay, here we go. You ready? This is a class that I taught, and it was entitled Claim, Design, and Program Your Ideal Day and Your Soul-Aligned Ideal Week. Now, the ideal day we've already covered in tip number 13. So this is an excerpt of that larger training. It was about an hour long. This is going to be about 20 minutes long, where what we're doing is focusing on your most exciting, your most soul purpose expressed ideal week. Here we go.
Okay, now we're going to amp it up, step it up a notch, and we're going to program your ideal week. So you have the basics here. What you did was you took note of what it was that you saw coming up. You made your list of things that were scheduled and also brainstorming what possibly could come up. And you used a sense of the strong you, the you that you want to be as you navigate through all this stuff. And you are showing up exactly the way you want to be. Then the other aspect of that is if you felt like you were not really dealing with the situations in your visualization as well as you would like, you rewound it and you redid them and you basically did a do-over in your visualization. So those are the basic given principles. Now we're going to take that into the week. So what I'd like you to do is take a moment and write out the core events that you currently know are going to occur in your upcoming week. So I'll be quiet while you think about that. And if you need to refer to your calendar, go ahead and do that. And that includes, getting the car washed, going shopping, everything. doing the laundry. Okay, I'll give you another moment. Now I'd like you to make another list of the things that possibly could happen. They're not in the schedule to happen, but knowing your life as you do, there's a possibility that it might happen. So let's have you make a note of that as well. Okay. Of course, you could always add to this when you listen to the replay or when you customize this for future events where you want to use this technique and you want to have a 360-degree view of all kinds of permutations that could happen so that you can replay them in your mind so that you're prepared to handle whatever comes up to the best of your ability by having gone through with your nervous system and your visualizations what might happen and who you need to be if this happens, and then who you need to be if that happens. Okay. Now we're going to add another piece that was not in the ideal day version. And now you're going to bring a special spirit guide with you or a special friend at the beginning of your week. So what I mean by that is for those of you who are aware of your connection to the spirit world, or you have a very comfortable, recognizable connection to your higher self, whether it's a spirit guide or your higher self or some other friendly, benevolent, empowering, uplifting, loving, supportive consciousness being. That is who I would like you to think of now. And this being could be either in the spirit world, or it could be you imagining this person who still is alive in their human form is with you at the beginning of the week. So I'm going to be quiet while you choose who you want to call forth to walk your week with you, who would be a uplifting friend, empowering you, guiding you, maybe even protecting you. All right, I'll be quiet now. Okay, so you've chosen your companion, whether it's a spirit companion, which would include your higher self, or you evoking the presence of someone who still is in human form. And in just a moment, when I count to 3, the two of you will walk through your week. Now, what I'd like you to do is the week that you have projected ahead, I'd like you to choose 3 large benchmark events that are scheduled to happen in that week. It could be meetings. It could be a meeting and you working out at the gym. It could be you, given what's going on right now with the coronavirus, it could be you including going shopping and making sure you have your gloves and your mask and your disinfectant wipes. Think of 3 big events that you want to have as benchmarks, that you really want to have those experiences be wonderful. It could be a doctor's appointment. It could be a meeting with a potential client on the phone, Zoom, whatever. So I'll be quiet while you do that. Okay, so what we have so far is you seeing a sprinkling of events that are going to, occurrences, what shall I call them, appointments, experiences that you know are going to be part of your upcoming week. You also have a sense of some possible things that could happen, but they're not in your appointment book. The third thing that we have is you choosing out of all of those sprinklings 3 big events, occurrences, instances, circumstances, scenarios that you want to really make sure happen just right. And you want to feel really good about each one as they occur. And then the 4th thing we have is you have a special helper, companion, loving friend that is going to journey with you. Okay, so you have all that organized. At the count of 3, you're going to start your visualization with your friend by your side. And what's going to happen is you're going to notice how you are showing up, how you're feeling, how you're talking, if you want, what you're wearing, who you're with, who you're not with, what you're saying. And as you come close to your very first critical scenario, really notice what happens inside of you. Keep self-correcting so that you're in your power and you have come through exactly the way you want it to go. And what I will do is I will walk you through approaching each of those core events. So you'll hear me say, okay, now we're approaching event number 2. And what we're after is you observing and quickly crafting yourself in this visualization of being the you that you want to be so that you can have the experience that you want to have. All righty, so your companion is by your side. 1, 2, and 3, your week begins. Just notice how you're handling the mundane, routine aspects of a week. Now you're approaching that first core scenario that you really want to do just right for yourself. And if you need to communicate with your friend, your spirit friend, or your imagination friend, let them support you. And you moved through it. And you are so happy with who you were what you learned and the experience that you had. Just feel that, see it, hear it, sense it. And your week continues. Soon, you'll come to your second core scenario, but not yet. All right? You're seeing your core scenario number 2 coming up in just a moment. And just pause with your friend and converse in any way that you feel you need to, so that the two of you work together for you to go through that experience, having it be an absolute win, an absolute success. And get ready. You're moving closer through that second scenario. You're almost ready to start into it. And you move into your second scenario. You're living it. Who you need to be, you are being. There's a challenge. Talk to your friend. And it all works out. Even better than you thought, maybe. And you come through, that scenario is gone, and just hear and see and feel the success, the win of it. Now, you're moving forward through your week. And you are coming up. You see that third and final critical experience that you chose for a highlight of the week. And the same thing. As you get close to it, if you're feeling uncertain, insecure, maybe even afraid, go ahead, talk to your friend. And you're getting ready to move through that experience with your friend, 1, 2, and you go through and you live that third event. And you did it, once again. Whatever you faced in your power as best as you could, and you got the results you wanted as best as was possible. So you move through that, you feel the exuberance of it, and you feel the exuberance of having so far had a fabulous week. And now you're coming to the end of the week, not necessarily a critical event, just wrapping up the week. And you find yourself at the end of the week, and just reflect upon what did you learn about yourself this past week in review, your week in review. Your week in review. What did you learn, if anything, from your friend? So what did you learn from your friend? And what did you learn about yourself? And now celebrate. Celebrate how you faced these situations if there were some challenges. Celebrate your ability to shift and grow and adjust and be resilient and malleable. Celebrate the fact that you're in communication with a being, whether imaginary, where they're still in physical form and you're just calling upon their essence, or in the spirit world. And what are you proud of about yourself? And as you are basking in all of this, make a note of what you want to do better next time. Whether it is a recurring situation that will happen, or you imagine that it could possibly happen. And just think about how you would do things a little bit better for yourself. Now also think about the kinds of things that could have happened, and I'd like you to take a moment and walk through that week again, all three events, all three core situations, of how you would have handled them if certain other variables had happened. So I'm going to count to 3. You start your week again at the beginning. You still have those 3 core events. However, you're going to add in other aspects that might have happened and how you would have handled them. So go back to the beginning of the week. I'm going to count to 3. You still have your friend with you. And this time I'm not going to identify when you're coming up to event number 1 or situation number 2 or situation number 3. I'm just going to let you free fall. However, you're going to arrive at the end of your week having explored what you would have done, who you would need to have been, should those situations have arisen. All right? 1, 2, at the beginning of the week with your friend, and 3. Notice how you're handling them. And you're nearing the end of the week. and you come to the end of the week. And again, reflect and celebrate. What did you learn about yourself? Should those other kinds of experiences have presented themselves or could present themselves? What did you learn from your friend who was your companion during the week? And what are you really celebrating were the greatest wins of how you handled the week? You as the creator being, you as the one who can work on yourself and make changes. And what would you in the future want to make sure that you do a little bit better or you feel a little more comfortable about? And now you are going to wrap this closed eye exercise up with you thanking your friend for being there with you. So dedicated, so devoted, so helpful, so loving. And you can say goodbye to your friend. And when you're ready, open your eyes and just notice how you feel. You took charge of your week as best as possible. How you can use this exercise is when you listen to the replay, is isolate the core variables of what it took for you to know that something was coming up, how you prepared for it. You had a companion, you had a what shall I call it, a support buddy, so that you could really have the experience that you really wanted. And you faced challenges perhaps, and notice who you became as you faced challenges. So enjoy your practicing taking charge of a situation, grabbing onto the reins of a situation, of a day, of a week, of a specific situation that's critical for you, important for you. And just notice what it takes for you to have what you want by doing these inner dress rehearsals, these inner programming experience techniques, so that your emotions, your thoughts, your visualizations, your internal dialogue can zoom in when it actually is happening in your 3D reality, to have your experiences be so much more fulfilling. So, I send you my love. God bless, and enjoy being a powerful creator. Bye for now.
Yeah. So how did you like that? That was a training that I did, by the way, in my monthly program. It's called Soul Radiant Success Rockstar Membership, where we have a training call once a month, and then we have a separate call, which is a Q&A and a healing session where whatever questions you have, you can present them to me, and then I tune in with my psychic intuitive abilities, and we activate very powerful, beautiful, divine healing energies, and you come away from the call with answers and solutions and feeling so much better and knowing what next steps to take. So that's what that excerpt was from. So let's wrap up here our tip number 16, our day 16. And what I would suggest you do is go back to day 13 and get familiar with how to set up your ideal day, and have that kind of fuel you assessing and laying out and launching an incredible, ideal, soul aligned week. If you have any questions for me, if you're here in the private Facebook group of Light Leader Power for Success and Mission Impact, just put your question for me in this thread and be sure to tag me. And also, please write your wins. And the way that I like to do that when we're working on the threads in Facebook is just put hashtag win and describe how this particular exercise really made a big positive difference for you as you continue to face what is happening in our country right now, in the world right now. But face it with power, face it with hope, face it with certainty, face it with connection to your spiritual power. And this exercise will help you do exactly that. So that's it for now. I'll see you tomorrow on day 17. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, and sending you much love. Bye for now.